2 minutes for a very quick question from Professor Stanley.
Just a quick question. So one of the problems that I found criticizing liberalism and the assumptions of liberalism is it's so hard to keep, when you're criticizing it, not to appeal to the concepts in the critique, like rationality and autonomy is one. And so I'm wondering, the last 2 days in your talk, about how you see that when you're criticizing, he was criticizing liberal autonomy and criticizing the sovereign subject conception, the free choice, the libertarian conception of free will, as it were. One way to criticize it is just as Iris Murdoch does, just to deny it, just to deny it. But you're trying to make a real space for autonomy. And yet, so I just wanted to know how you ask you to talk about how you negotiate that. Like yesterday in your talk, you said a moment where I saw like a peak of a sort of liberal free will autonomy picture come in was when you were talking about, the dress moment, when you say, okay, you wear this and you wear this dress, you wear the trousers or skirt, and the child says, no, I refuse. That sounded like liberal autonomy. It was my free choice. Well, so, I mean, this happens to me all the time when I'm critiquing rationality or critiquing. But so how do you, that was like a moment of like the sovereign individual.
I see. Well, you see, I think there are certain acts we tend to describe through recourse to sovereign individuality that we can describe differently, and I'm trying to make the case that there's a better description. So for instance, here's the dress. It's like, no, I'm not wearing that dress. Or just wail, or tear it up, or throw it out, right? Many things to do with the dress. Or put it on and love it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Or the brother snatches it and puts it on and loves it. Or, I mean, many things can happen. Pure chaos can ensue. But here's the thing. It's the dress that has been given. In other words, something social is happening at this moment. Here is the dress. It's like, this is for you. It's beautiful. Don't you love it? Aren't you pleased? I got it especially for you. You look fabulous. No. Right? No to the dress. No to the act. No to the interpolation. In other words, the no. If we stop the scene, right, and then say, where does the no come from? And then step back from the scene and say, well, there's an individual here with the capacity to say yes or no, and that comes out of the autonomous resources of the individual. Then we've actually decontextualized the scene and we've lost the social meaning. In other words, the interpolation in some ways facilitates the no, even though that's not its aim, right? So let's keep it within the terms of a social address and a social context and a norm-governed process of subject formation. It's like, here's the dress, you're a girl, that's what girls do, so you can be this kind of girl. Here, be this girl. Right? It has, so it's a social mode of treatment, mode of address, and I feel like once we abstract from it what allows that child to say no, and then we develop a notion of individualism, we decontextualize that so-called, we posit an individual, and we decontextualize the no from its social condition and effect. I think a lot's lost there. I think we can still account for and even affirm the no without having to go back into that particular kind of ontology.
Okay,
Great, now we're done.
I'd like to ask you to thank Professor Judith.
Great, thank you.